clear to play. Mini Wargaming's War Machine League Battle Reports.
Hey there, Mini Wargamers. Owen here from Mini Wargaming with Josh and Eric for another game in the War Machine League. 35 points of Retribution up against Khador. And what was the game type we were playing here?
It's into the breach.
Yeah. Into the breach. There we go. So flag in his zone. And they haven't rolled off yet, but we'll show you the armies. Click the link below. You can take a look. We're going to go over the armies, why they brought them, what they thought. And then we're going to get into the game. So here we go. And so here we go. We've got the Khador and Retribution squared off against one another. There's a zone that you can capture for 1, dominate for 2, capture the flag for 1, dominate for 2. Khador do have turn 1. You can see them kind of lined up here on the left. And then you've got the Retribution on the right. Everyone's just kind of lined up as per usual. Gonna run up, try and grab the objectives, and see who can win based on score. Well, we'll see. First things first, we've got the Khador, what are they called? Blood Reavers? Reavers? Doom Reavers. Doom Reavers, that's what they're called. Doom Reavers moving up with their UA. Then we've got the big chunk of Iron Fang pikemen advancing or running forward, getting right onto the edge of the zone there, and all just kind of lined up. Next, we've got his little solo there, the Manhunter jumping into the woods. The other one jumping over here, the Kayazi Assassins, moving up and finding a place. Well, that's actually Yuri. Here are the Kayazi infiltrators. And then after that, we've got his other infiltrators running across the board, heading towards the other edge, basically. He wants to go fight his infiltrators with his infiltrators, and basically see who can win there. Transference on himself, and then moves up Epic Vlad, hanging out behind the wall there. And then he moves up Drago, who gets the finishes moving Vlad and casts Hand of Fate on the unit there, and then moves up Drago running along behind and just over into the front of the building. Ret turn begins. First off, allocates a bunch of focus to the Hydra, and then moves forward with his Mage Hunter infiltrators, and then moves up behind them with his Stormfall archers, who decide that they're going to start taking pot shots. So aiming for the Axeman here, and he needs something crazy high. Actually, he auto misses because they have stealth, so that would explain why. So basically he's looking for a short deviation. If he can roll a 2 or less for distance, then he's fine. Next one shoots at the Kayazi there, and they are of course in range. It scatters 6 to 6. And the last one on the last one, and it only goes 1 inch or 2 inches to the 1. The black is always the direction. And dice -5. He rolls a 5, so he fails to kill it, and that's that. Hydra decides he's going to take a pot shot over at some of those knights there, misses, does nothing. Next we've got Kalissa moving up and feeding, so everyone in her control gains stealth and cannot be charged by a charge originating in their front arc, or I think just at all. Then moves up with Banishing Ward on the Sentinels. Here we go, we've got the Iron Fangs moving up once again, filling in the center of the circle there, getting ready before they charge in and get in the fight with those Sentinels. Basically, it's Reach Weapon Master against non-reach. They do their mini feat so they can then advance again while maintaining shield wall. And so they'll still be +4 to their armor, but they also get to move a full advance. Or at least just a full advance, not a run. Berserkers, or Doom Reavers rather, move up behind them so that when the Sentinels kill the Iron Fangs, the Berserkers can attack they're not Berserkers. I don't know why I keep saying they're Berserkers. It's because they have Berserk, that's why. The Doom Reavers can attack the Sentinels once they're through. And then over here we've got the Solos moving around. These guys just run, diving into his unit of Mage Hunter infiltrators, and then we've got his Solos gathering up in the center there. And the last Manhunter hides out right there. Drago once again runs forward, just kind of getting in position, and then the infiltrators take off and stand in front of Drago. And there we go. So here we go, he's got his infiltrators moved up right there, and then he moves up Vlad just a little bit and basically hangs out with his focus and transference still up. And then the War Dog, can't forget the War Dog. Upkeep Banishing Ward and Phantom Hunter, and that's about it. Or Silas upkeeps one of those for free. Here we go, he's charging in with his Mage Hunter Assassins. First one they attack and he hits and kills. First assassin is dead. Second one he attack, or first you have to do a command check because that happens. And he passes. So here we go, attacking the next assassin. He hits and then dice damage, not a charge, but he still kills him. And then the last one he misses his second attack, third additional, and last attack. So he misses all of them on the last one, but he does fail his command check, and so that last assassin is broken. cannot attack next round, and can only advance away from the enemy. Here we go, the mage archers start shooting at Drago, and it doesn't matter where it deviates because it could start killing some of their own guys. Then he does get a hit and does brutal, dice -6, does a bunch of damage to his center column there. Next shot hits and is brutal once again, dice -6, 7 damage there. Tons of damage actually. Next shot is still a hit and dice -6, not quite as good as the last one, but another 2 points of damage is never anything bad. Hydra decides it's going to take a shot at him as well. It does hit, boosting the hit and then boosting the damage, and does a little bit more, and that's that. Arm is not gone yet, and there we go, now it focused. Here we go, Silas moves up, once again gives her additional die in her next spell cast. She does Arcane Bolt against the Jack, take away the lowest, is a hit, and then he boosts the damage at dice -6, take away the lowest, doing another 5 points of damage to his 4, and making him stationary. So here we go, the Sentinels are now charging in. Basically, they're just going to see how many of these Iron Fangs they can kill, but they are Mat 7, POW 12 Weapon Masters, so they should do fairly well. Attacking the Doom Reaver, they hit. Tough, so he's just knocked down. Next guy attacks the Iron Fang, hits, dead, splat. Next, hits, dead. Basically, these guys are they're basically Menoth units. That's how good they are. That's right. I'm going to compare their unit being as good as the regular units in another army. But anyway, they're very cheap, and they do have reach, which is the really big thing. Like, reach Weapon Masters on small bases makes it so you can get tons of attacks in, and the big thing with Weapon Masters is the more attacks you have, the better your unit is overall. Because if you're just depending on dice rolls, then the more dice rolls you make, the more likely you are to get like those random spikes where you roll like 665 or things like that. Here we go, the Hydra's shooting into the middle there, and he of course misses. Khador turn begins, and Vlad does his feat, so 3 plus a D3, 4. 4 guys get super abilities. Basically, they get +3 to all of their stats. So the guys with these little blue tokens, they're the ones who are going to be +3 to everything. He's debating for a little while which guy is going to get that. He does give it to the Reaver there, and then the last Reaver, unfortunately, is not out, the one he really wanted to get it. And so, nope, he decides he's going to give it to the other Doom Reaver right there. And then Vlad, of course, charges forward into one of the archers, but unfortunately can't make the charge. But that was expected. Here we go. Doom Reaver stands up, and the other Doom Reavers now start advancing in. Whomp, right there. And they do have their solo so that if they berserk, they don't have to attack again. So if they kill a model instead of normally where they'd have to attack somebody within their reach, they don't actually have to attack them. And there we go. We've got the Doom Reavers all in position. The last one there, and the UA, he wasn't really sure what he was going to do with them. Just kind of move them up, keep them in command. So he stays there to keep them in. And the last one, he just runs over there. Here we go. First attack, he needs Snake Eyes. He hits and kills. Then Berserk gets the next one, hits and kills. Next one, hits and kills. Because once again, they have Berserk, and he has +3 to all of his stats. So +3 mat, +3 strength, +3 speed, and I think they have +3 defense and armor as well. They're basically really good. They all become very good solos for one turn. So there we go. Next Berserkers, they're basically just hacking their way. They all attack, and they just cleave to this entire front line of Sentinels, because that's what they do. And now we actually had to roll for damage for these last fellas because they were not super solos, and it was possible for them to live. And command check, but they pass, so the Sentinels do not break, despite the fact that 3 guys just killed everything. Yuri charges up, attacking the archer in the front. He does his Thresher attack, and he's not a super solo because you can't give it to characters. He hits the first guy, killing him outright, and then Threshers against the other ones. First attack is a hit, killing that one. Then against Wishnalar, miss. And then against the caster, he needs an 8. And then he does Transference to boost the hit, and he does hit. And then does Transference again to boost the damage, but he rolls pretty terribly and does not kill her. But here we go, we've got an assassin coming out of the woods. Well, not really, it's more like a woodsman coming out of the woods. Charging into Kalissa, and it is a super solo right now, so it's all kinds of boosted. Boosting to the hit. Needs a 5.
Nice damage, Weapon Master Charge,
Weapon Master Charge,
5 points of damage.
Yahtzee. All right.
I called it.
I think you helped it happen.
So
Should have shot that person.
this is the end, and thanks to the fact that he put that tree in the middle of the board, he won the game. We had said it at the beginning.
At any point, you could have changed it.
All right.
I
well,
can set up terrain. Set it up.
it was a Khador victory due to super solos thanks to Vlad's feat. And you also score 1 point for control. So here we are at the end of the game. Stay tuned for the post-game, mini wargamers. Happy wargaming.